Everyone, welcome back to another moon reading. This reading is going to be for this beautiful new moon in Libra, and the dates are going to be from September 25th to late in the evening on September 27th. But you guys know how this works. These readings are timeless and signless, so you don't actually have to have any specific placements, and you don't have to actually be watching this video at the time that it's being made. If there's a message for you, it will wait for you forever, ever, ever. And if the message manifests before you, then there's something in it. If it doesn't make sense or it doesn't resonate at the moment, please go ahead and back pocket it, because the way that energy works is that it unfolds. And remember, the conscious mind is the last to know. So you could be staring the truth dead in your face, but your conscious mind is like, I don't get it, or I disagree. So whatever it is, we just have to have patience with ourselves, right? So the energies specifically wanted to work with these two card decks, and I haven't used this card deck in forever. And then of course we have these beautiful cards here. They're by the same author and creator, Chris Ann Connolly, and I just combined them. God bless. So, but these ones, ooh, forgot, is this might be Ciro Marchetti. I don't remember, but either way, let's jump in. Speaking of jumping in, look at the King of Wands trying to get in. Very hesitant energy. Wow, Mr. King of Wands, where you at? You're not supposed to be hesitant. But I love your approach, King of Wands, taking the time to see now I'm all stumbling upon my words. Lots of shy, apprehensive energy. So let's see, we're already in the reading, but I like that you're tempering yourself, King of Wands, because you know how it goes. If you rush in with stuff and during this time you really want to tread lightly, you're out of your element, Mr. Fire. That's all I want to say. You're out of your element. We're in Libra energy. We're in air energy. And of course, there are other energies at play. Mars is hanging out somewhere out there. There are other cosmological influences, but we are doing this reading for new moon in Libra, and look who's decided to gingerly step out. That's literally the energy. He's like, look, this card is even like in front of him, and he's not rushing to put his scepter into this flame here. So he's waiting, he's looking around. Now, those of you who may have fire element within you, or in general, if this vibes with you, what I'm about to say, you may be feeling a little bit, not like a bull in a china shop right now, but more like really paranoid. Thank you. There's a sense, it's a gentle, subtle paranoia, like, okay, much like a cute little animal approaches a watering hole, and he knows that there are other animals that are just waiting for him to step up so they can bite him right in the nose, like, you know, a crocodile or something. And so he's gingerly looking out to see, is anyone else around? Can I go take a sip? This is that energy right now. And I don't want to say I like it, because I don't like when people are in fear and stuff, but I like this energy because it's nice to see this huge, usually untamable, effervescent fire energy tempering the self, looking around. Yes, the guides are reminding me that Aries is the opposite of Libra. Fire is the opposite of air here, and yeah, and it's kind of like a show of respect. They're saying, bowing down to this compliment, COMPLEMENT, this compliment that is Libra. This air energy can, look at me tipping my hat, can complement fire energy. What that looks like right now is if you want to rush into something, or if you're typically someone who rushes into something, whether it's rushing to judge or rushing to try or rushing to effect with an EFFECT. Okay, that is a verb also, just so you guys know, one of my faves. Well, right now you're actually stopping and looking around and thinking first. And you're thinking, you're crossing your eyes, you're not crossing your eyes. You're crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and you are making sure you say your pleases and thank yous, because you don't want to offend anyone. And yes, this is the way to go. Strength. It still wants to come out like this. No? Strength. So the Spirit is saying this is not about you not being who you are. This is not about you like stopping who you are and this and that and being fake. And if that's where your mind is at, that's victim story right there. This is about understanding that there's something to be learned from the opposite energy from what you are. You don't have to have fire element or be fire element for this energy. It's just tune into the dynamics, okay? This is about learning to temper the self. And as the guides have been saying for Libra season, it's not about judging others. It's about looking at what's happening, being aware of what's coming towards you, who, what, where, when, why. What are the incoming energies towards you before you rush to judge? Bring it back in, observe what this energy is coming as, what it means, what it represents to you. Call in your higher self so then you could see what it actually represents, because what it represents to you will never be more than your story. And your story is, well, it's cycled through your trauma and your distortions and your desire to, you know, have somebody else be responsible and this and that. So once you tell your story and you acknowledge what it represents to you, then call upon your higher self so that you can get a more macroscopic understanding of what's actually happening, what's actually happening. And then from there, you can get a much, look at this, yeah, it almost looks like the higher self coming in, boom, 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 delivering perception changes in perceptions, miracles, according to A Course in Miracles, right? A miracle is a change in perception. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to synthesize. We're looking to see the information, new information coming in. We're looking for different ways to view whatever's happening for us and then to make it work, right? It's about getting outside of yourself. The wheel. Why is everything turning like this? I mean, no pun intended. I swear I didn't mean to make that turn with a, you know, that pun with a wheel and turning. But look. Yeah. Yeah, so I keep getting this energy. Yeah, the guides are like, it's a show of respect. It's a show of respect when you start to listen, when you stop. When you stop and you can allow yourself to be in a certain space where you allow others to enter. Maybe some of us are emotionally unavailable. Maybe some of us, you know, think we know better. Whatever's going on, what that all amounts to is barriers. We're keeping people out. We're keeping opportunities out because we're actually keeping energies out. Remember, energy is just another awesome one-word name for people, places, things, situations, and ideas. Everything is energy. So if you're keeping people out, guess what? You're also keeping other energies out that you may not be aware of. And as we know, there are things that we are aware that we're aware of. There are things that we are aware that we're not aware of. Yeah, like I'm aware that I'm not aware of what my neighbors are doing right now. I don't want to know. Then there are things that we are not aware that we're aware of. Oh my God, I didn't know I knew how to read cards. I guess I was never aware of that. Go figure. But it's that fourth category, the things that you're not aware of. You have no idea that you don't know that thing. In other words, that fourth category is the inconceivable. Spirit talked about the inconceivable earlier this month. They talked about learning to remain flexible, ideologically flexible in this day and age. Trust me, it is so important because we're opening up to greater galactic connection with our galactic cousins. It's happening. If you're not aware of it, it's okay, but just start, getting yourself to be ideologically flexible. Start with other human beings, for crying out loud, And once you start to do that, you start to be exposed to different things and you can gradually synthesize things in a better way, in a healthier way, in a more real way, right? And so this is what the guides are asking us to do. And once we start to practice that, once we're, I'm feeling your energies, guys. Once we are able to expand ourselves in that way and be more and more flexible, guess what? Then our spirit teams can finally start to really give us the ideas that we couldn't even conceive of, but that they know would bring us true happiness. Here it is. You're like, man, I wish I had a new apartment. I wish I had a new apartment. The guides are like, apartment? Dude, we want to put you in a house. You're like, what? What is a house? You know, maybe, okay, we know what a house is. What if they're like, yeah, forget a house, forget an apartment. We actually want you to, we want you to find the love of your life, and we want you to improve your diet, and we want you to be so happy and feel so loved and go to bed feeling like you've lived a fulfilling day. And we know that you would be so good at doing that in Costa Rica, as joining a farm there, and we want to send you there for like a small contract so that you can fall in love with the place, meet the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, and then end up marrying and staying there and just living so much happy. Meanwhile, you're out here like looking on Craigslist for like a house share. Like, where are we at, right? So it's the inconceivable. We ask when we pray for things to make us happy. We ask for people to make us happy, although, you know, Spirit actually knows it's an inside job, but they also know that they have answers. They know what will bring you happiness. And they try to tell us, but it can't even come in, because how are you ever going to think about doing, you know, I forgot what it's called. It's not couch surfing. Yeah, when you work on a farm and in exchange for labor or room and board or something, and it gives you, there are a few programs like that, but anyway, it gives you experience, blah, blah, blah. And so, long story short, that's what Spirit is asking you to do right now. They're asking you to open up, and so that you can start to perceive of, because you can't perceive of it right now, so you can at least perceive of the energies, right, of the inconceivable. It's those things you don't know that you don't know. And so that's why I love that this energy is showing respect for something that is not in its usual territory. This King of Wands is like, look, I'm used to rushing in and owning this place, but right now I'm going to chill. I'm going to walk in here, be respectful, take a look at what's going on. Anything that approaches me, I'm going to look at this three of Pentacles. Look at him working on that, collaborating with all the other energies. I'm going to learn, because I know that when I learn about others, and I learn about myself, and I know that in order to learn about others, I have to clear myself out so that others can come in. So this is about learning that it's not about people trying to erase you. It's about learning to take a step back and share the space. Share the space. We have a lot of these fire signs that don't know how to share the space, right? Leo, just kidding. You know, hey. Aries. And Sagittarius is like, I don't know, I don't get it. Right? He's like, they're like, I'm not planning to stay long anyway. Okay, Sag, thank you. So this is about learning. Look at this, the water energy, like, can I play? Fire's like, oh God, let me just touching. Look, there's another. Oh my God, there's another. Oh my God, that's so funny. Another water card. I could just feel this King of Wands like, can I just get used to this air really quickly? Like, dude, I'm already like trying not to get blown out by this air. You know, too much air is going to blow out my fire. Now you have two water signs wanting to come in. And so, yeah. Guess what? Listen, preach it, guides. They're like, let them. They're like, hit them with it. Look at these two little swords right here. Look at these two water cards. Everyone say it with me. What is coming after Libra? What is coming after Libra? Water is coming after Libra. Water is coming after Libra. You guys, it reminds me of that. Remember that guy? I don't know. He's like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Right? Yeah. Before you start freaking out, yes, Scorpio is coming up. Not only is the moon in Scorpio coming up after this new moon in Libra, but that's right. We also have the sun entering Scorpio pretty soon. So listen, we out here. And when I say we out here, in this context, I mean it is time for you to start paying attention so you don't get caught up. Ace of Wands. Wow, look at the fire. So let's take a look. It's like, here we have this fire element. Let's go for it. Thank you, King of Wands, for like working with us to kind of like teach. King of Wands comes in. He's holding his integrity during all of this air energy going on right now. If you think about it, sun and moon in Libra right now, just blowing like an air conditioner. And then we know water is coming in soon. But look at this Ace of Wands just coming up. Again, this is not about blowing out the fire. So some of you, regardless of what your placements are or your elements are, you may be at this time experiencing this feeling of almost, well, for some of you maybe feel like dying. You're dying. Who you think you are is dying, and you're being extinguished and you're being forgotten. For some of you, look at this card at the top. It's the Five of Pentacles. I just peeped it. Low self-worth. Look at here, she is outside the door. The key's right there, literally, so just go ahead and open the door. But you know, when we have our head down in our lap and we're not really seeing ourselves through a higher state of being, all we're seeing is lack, right? But if she were to open her eyes, she would actually see, oh my God, I was totally worried about going through that door. There's that key, it's right there. And so what's actually happening is a refinement. And we're culling, we're learning, and we're synthesizing, and that's going to give rise to an even brighter flame. Now the Ace of Wands, we know that is all about something new. It's starting over again. Look at it crossing right over the wheel. It's like, don't worry, we'll come back to you. Right now, we're learning, guys. A lot of us are learning through the vehicle of Libra. It's not always about you. Now, in a sense, it is always about you, because people are just mirrors. This whole life is just a huge mirror for you. But at the end of the day, I mean, that is at the end of the day, but not at the end of the day, during the daytime, so to speak. It's also about realizing it's not always about you. It's not. It's okay to take a step back, a seat, take a back seat for others. Allow others first. These are Libran qualities. Oh, okay. Look at these cards. One I kind of lay. These are Libran qualities. You know, please, thank you, yes, no, yes, please, no, thank you. Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Oh, please let me. Yes, come on. These are Libran qualities. You know why? Because Libra understands the role of other. Now, clearly, I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, but the shadow of Libra is like a pushover and, you know, always apologizing and not standing up for themselves. And yeah, I get that. But no one's asking you to go to the shadow realm here in the sign of Libra. We're asking you to look at who you are and what you are, and you will be able to see more of that as you rub up against people. And then take a look at what qualities you could you could cultivate for yourself. Okay, and look at this Eight of Swords. Just imprisoned thoughts. All we're looking for here is a change in perception. It is kind of late right now, guys, so give me a chance here, okay? And my nose is like tickling. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Wait, there was something I wanted to say. Yeah, so learning to be polite and learning to allow the other in. And, you know, as I always like to say, if you're the one always on stage, if you're always the one in the front, if you're always the one with the cameras on you, if you're always the one, guess what? No one else gets to be that. If you always get to be in charge, when does someone else get to be in charge? Right? If you're always getting all the good stuff, when are other people? And so one of the things, the opposite of Libra, if it's way in the shadow, is Aries, like way in the shadow, making everything about them, not knowing how to share, not caring to share, not caring about others. It's all about the self, right? And so self versus other. So right now during Libra season, you're being invited to observe through your interrelationships and the skirmishes and the kerfuffles and the tiffs that are happening. Remember, the guide said those would be happening for instructional purposes. You're learning through those vehicles to place yourself along this spectrum of totally all about the self versus too much about the other. Where are you? Where do you fall? And then start to incorporate, you know, and start thinking about it, start observing, start calling in your guides, start thinking, how can I synthesize this? Because when I'm done, I'm going to emerge as a new me. And what kind of me would I like to be? Right? That's all this is about. And with Scorpio season coming up, you best believe we're going to be having our shadows pop up, right? Speaking of our shadows pop up, look. Ah. Now look at the Sun and the Judgment card. I love this. Both are cards of birth. The Sun is about birth, and the Judgment card here often talks about rebirth. So yeah, and I love that, because here we are, literally the Sun with this King of Wands representing that fire energy, and then here we have the Ace of Wands signifying the rebirth after this cycle goes through. And here's the rebirth here. God is good, get it? All right, they're like, yes, let's move on to the next set, next deck of cards. Okay. They're saying also, don't be afraid of the water. Don't be afraid of Libra season either. Don't be afraid of Scorpio season. These are just different, how are they saying? I'm trying to translate it. Turning of the, I can't translate it. Of course, my mind wants to say turn of the screw, because I mean, like, when do we say turning of the, but, oh man, turning of the faces, like there's a combination of what they're saying, like cycles, different sides of the coin, almost vehicles, like rolling some die and having different faces, and they're just different, but die have different sides, so it's like it's all part of the same die, and yeah, so we're rolling right now. Okay, thank you. We're rolling some dice here, and look, she's literally like rolling these these little roses. Yeah, so all we're doing is we're working on ourselves from different perspectives and different angles. And look at this cute Seven of materials. It looks like all these roses are just tossed out, right? You're experiencing this, but then guess what? You put it all in a row. You start to tend your garden. You're just learning more about who you are. Boink. Okay. I like this. The Empress card. How beautiful. It's nice to have during Libra season. But what I'm seeing here with the Empress card is an emphasis on you embodying choice. But more than choice, because we always have choice, right? And choices seem logical to us. They seem to make sense. They feel good, all that. But just because something seems logical, and you can put the dots there, and you can argue for it, and you can call upon your ethics and your morality and your common sense, and just because things feel good, because doesn't mean that they're actually for your health and well-being. All it means is that whatever solutions you are coming up with, or whatever assessments you're making, correspond and confirm the bias that you already have within you. So of course that guy who clearly is just horrible is going to feel good to you, because you have a distortion inside, and it's based on a lack of self-love. And so you have certain desires and certain thoughts and certain emotions and knee-jerk reactions that all are founded upon those core misbeliefs. And the evidence is this man, who is clearly just horrible of a person, seems like a wonderful option to you. Wow, he messages me every now and then. Okay. He asked how my day was that one time. Okay. So that's an example. So what they're saying here is, yeah, everybody has choices, but what makes the difference in your quality of choice is your perspective. And it's pretty cut and dry. Either your perspective is founded upon love, or it's founded upon fear. And fear is not real, as the Course in Miracles teaches us. The only thing that's real is love. So if you're perceiving of fear, or you're perceiving of duality, perceiving of negative feelings and all this, which we are because we're human beings, that just goes to show you, it doesn't show us that it's actually a real thing because we're all having this experience. It actually goes to show you how deep in distortion we really are, to the point, I want to say point, but there's a fact, to the point that we're even manifesting these things around us in the physical. We're manifestors. The problem is we are so skewed on some level within us, multiple levels, that look at what we manifest. We literally manifest nightmares. Look at this. That's it. And so, without going into any big commentary on our galactic cousins and our galactic history and those who are, anyway, I will say this. There are beings out there in here and on this planet and out there that understand this, and it's like taking candy from a baby. So it is very easy to manipulate human beings until human beings wake up and realize, oh my God, I'm literally just being fed off of. Because the more I'm kept in fear, the more my energy is food for, we're not going all that, but for some of you, you understand, you know what's up. And if you don't worry. The whole point is, all we need to be concerned about is focusing on self and learning to recognize what love is again. So that's why we talk about things like a return to love, right? That's what it is. When you quote unquote return to love, when you quote unquote awaken, quote, and when you quote unquote become enlightened, all you're doing is having a change in perception and change in perspective, a change in perception. And what you're realizing is, oh, none of this was real. Okay? And at this 3D conscious level, there's work to be done in order to get to that place. At this point, it's kind of like, okay, I kind of don't know how to do it, right? If that's where you feel you're at. But I'm going to believe that, hey, maybe there's something to this. I'm going to set my intention, ask Spirit to come through and really help to guide me out of this situation, because I know I can't see. Look at this card finally coming in. I've been seeing it off the edge. Listen deeply. His eyes are closed. For the journey that they're asking you to make to change your perception, you don't need your eyes. Your eyes are just seeing what your thoughts are thinking, and your thoughts are thinking things based off of core misbelief. So what use is the eye, right? Are the eyes. The real eye you need to use is your third eye. But until then, go ahead and call upon your higher self, who is outside of this 3D perspective. And so therefore, from their vantage point, your higher self's vantage point can see everything. So when you connect and you create that link and you focus that link and you agree to align with your higher self, which is you, all you're doing is teamwork, You're working with yourself and you're bringing in daily. They're saying you have to do this daily. Be out here daily. Start practicing what it means to call upon something higher than yourself. They always listen and they always answer. I'm here to tell you, I have never asked a question that was not answered. And if it was not answered, I realized later, oh, it was actually answered. I chose not to listen to it, or I couldn't hear it because I was too distracted. So part of the homework is understanding that when you ask, it is given, plain and simple. If it's not given, that means you didn't hear. And if you didn't hear, that means that you were too distracted, or you need to make some change in something. And that's the homework. I think a lot of people on earth always want to be like, I want to live in the 5D, I'm this, or even worse, I'm already in the 5D right here in my 3D consciousness talking to you. I'm like, no. Okay, you have an interdimensional aspect of you in the 5D, yes, of course, because we're interdimensional beings, and you have an aspect of you at a higher dimension than that, and a higher and a higher and a higher. But right now we're here on this in this 3-dimensional reality, and our job is to align with those higher aspects of us, because a lot of these same people claiming they've already this and that, and they're shouting at the Amazon guy because he left the package in the wrong location, right? So these are things to consider, and it's about taking a back seat, being humble, and learning to listen. Okay, so one of the ways that you listen is by observation. That's what we're here for. Observe what's happening to me, what's occurring to me, and understanding that whatever you think and say and whatever story you make up about what's happening to you is most likely not true, and you have to accept that. But you can also accept that it is as true as you see it, but you also can understand that you're not seeing clearly, and that's where you call upon something higher than yourself in order to receive the blessings of perspective. Oh, look at this next card. Love it. Yes, raise that vibration. And of course, coming with earthing and grounding. Ding. Right? We're here to connect. And it's not, it's more about connecting with self. Because when you connect with self and you understand that through your connections with others, you're only seeing yourself. And when you treat yourself better, you're able to treat others better. Yes, you can sometimes treat yourself horribly, but totally dote and on others and put others on a pedestal. But it's all about balance. You have to really work on bringing more self-love in. And I say you, but I mean we, all of us, right? Wow, this is a big season. Ooh, wow. Okay. Hold on, guys. Okay. All right, let me clear this out. Oh, thank you. I was like, what next? Is there anything else? I was like, can we actually end early? The guides are saying, pay attention to yourself. Do you guys remember one of the readings that they gave in this month of September said, mind your business, right? So it's very important right now that we mind our business. I know I just finished saying it's important to observe, but yes, observing means observing. It's different from looking at other people and judging other people and gossiping about other people and comparing yourself to other people in a way that makes you feel superior. That's all it's just not even necessary, right? It's about learning to mind your business. And there's something very important to be said for minding your business. And that's because sometimes you just can't understand what other people are going through. It's not, you're not capable of it sometimes. And when I say that, it might be like, yeah, but Jonelle, I see this person's history and I've seen what they've been doing and they just can't get it right and this and that. Yeah, but then I sit with that person and I'm looking right into their energy field and I'm seeing a completely different story altogether, including the fact that this person has a soul contract with you to teach you to mind your business. Because when we're minding other people's business, we're judging them, and we have to be mindful of that. And these are all lessons. And also, guys, this seems like a really big month, and transit, if we will, and that, wow, like Spirit's really coming down hard on us. Whoopsies, I'm sorry, I hope that's not hurting your ears. But they're not coming down hard on us. They're helping us and they're offering us perspective that we knew that we would be receiving because we made the soul contract. We have this contract that I would make these videos, and that if you felt like it still, you would tune in and hopefully get something of value that you can take away with you, right? And so it's important to see that you have options. Oh, the King of Wands again. He's funny. Queen of Wands. Oh my God. I was like, the King of Wands is back. Hi. And then the Queen of Wands. Look at them both feeling good under this, along with this 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, by the way. I need a card right here, right now. Oh, this one? Okay. I don't know what this is. Emotional fulfillment. I just heard this card say, Daddy. Like, wait, what? What is happening? Like a whole family is coming up right now. King of Wands and Queen of Wands representing self and other in great communion and holy communion here. Right? This is beautiful. Emotional fulfillment. Strength. See, now it wants to come under here. Why did it say Daddy? I literally heard it. It's like, Daddy? I was like, okay. Sir? What is happening? Oh my my gosh, these cards are too funny. Look at that. And then Temperance. Oh, I love the Temperance card. All right. Three of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. We need some swords. We have all of the elements here except swords. Are we? Yeah, there's a Ten of Swords. And the Ace of Wands. Stop it. Look at all this fire. Wow, the way this feels, to be honest, like, I don't know if you guys can feel it. It literally feels like we're here. Like, this is all of you. Like, yeah, we're here to learn. We are serious about it. We may be foreigners in this energy. We're fire trying to come to learn about this double air followed up by water. We're here, but we're showing up. Not only do we have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands working together and emotionally fulfilling themselves and each other with this Ten of Cups, but we have the Ace of Wands coming as well. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any better. And look at the Ace of Coins. This is the value that's going to be received. And I love that we have this Ten of Swords here. Listen, Ten of Swords is the end of a major karmic cycle that's usually marked by pain. Okay, this isn't the Ten of Wands, pack it up kind of stuff. We're just packing it up. We're cleaning it out. We're breaking stuff down. We're moving stuff up. This is the Ten of Swords. I have died and here I am again with these 10 swords in my back. But they're here for it. And look at these warriors. We have the Queen of Wands showing up like, I'm ready to lead. Bring it on. Let's go. And then we have the King of Wands, tempered but strong, coming forward, not rushing in. We have the Strength here that wanted to orient itself under him, right? We have the Temperance card, which is Spirit coming through. I love it. And then we have this beautiful Three of Cups. It's almost like the Queen of Wands is bringing this beautiful collaborative Three of Cups energy that's gentle. And it's not, she didn't just bring a cup for herself. She brought a cup for her honey bun and then the Ace of Cups together. You see the Ace of Cups along with her and her honey bun's cups. We have two little mandolin-y looking things. This is collaboration working together. And we're doing a collective reading. So to me, it almost feels like, wow, if I were teaching a class, this is the equivalent. All my teachers out there, shout out. This is the equivalent. Like, okay, I did tell you guys that we would be covering chapter 23 today. And I did give you some homework over the weekend. And all of you showed up doing all of the modules. You all have come with your questions and you're ready to go. I'm like, hey, I wasn't expecting this much, readiness. So these are very, very good energies to go through this class together. So thank you guys so much. I think this should be it. I'm so tempted to pull a card right here, but I think this will be it for tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to play. Remember, the song of the season is observe. Observe what's happening between you and other people, not to judge, but in order to locate where you are along this spectrum. Okay? And thank you for holding yourself back a little bit so others can have center stage and can show you more about who you are by showing how you interact with them, showing the dynamic with you. And once you receive that information, go ahead, throw some prayers up. Thank you, God. Ouch, that hurt, but thank you, God. Oh, wow, this was really enlightening. Thank you, God. Whatever it is, and call your higher self in to help you synthesize this information and then have faith that you're going to move forward even better. All right? Okay. All right, that's it. Bye. Just kidding. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me or an energy healing session with me, you know where to find me. All of my information is on Etsy. Until then, God bless you guys, whoever your God is, if you have one at all. And yeah, let's do our best. And I guess class dismissed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.